So we'll quickly revise what is conduction and then go to the Fourier's equation. So that will help us to solve for heat transfer or solve for the value of K or solve for the value of temperature. So there can be multiple purposes we can use the Fourier's law, but using the Fourier's equation is tough. So in that there is a spatial coordinate x. So we need to understand some things regarding that also. So this is for that purpose only. So we'll just quickly revise conduction. So we already know that it can be either in solid or in liquid or in gas, but there should be no movement, or what, no movement, sorry, or I'll say the whatever matter we have should be stationary. Okay, and then we have Fourier's law, so that is of our interest. So we know that Fourier's law was heat flux is directly proportional to delta T by delta X, or temperature gradient, right? Now the final equation was the rate of heat transfer is equal to Ka dt by dx, or minus Ka T1 minus T2 by x1 minus x2, x2 minus x1. So over here in the numerator it would have been T2 minus T1 if I write dt, but I have taken that minus 1 negative sign outside. That's why I could change it to T1 minus T2. So over here let's just revise this terminology quickly. Q was heat transferred. The amount Q dot is rate of heat transfer. It can be capital, it can be small. Q double dash is heat flux. Q dot subscript G. That G, subscript G is for generation. So heat generation rates or rate of heat generation. E dot in general, E is the energy. So E dot is the energy transfer rate. T is temperature, small t is time, rho is density, Cp is heat capacity at constant pressure, Cv is heat capacity at constant volume, m is mass. One more thing added up, K, which was thermal conductivity, and A, which was area of heat transfer through which heat transfer is happening. Okay, so this is the revision. Now we'll focus on this part which has the x coordinate. So this is written as per the rectangular coordinates. So there are three coordinate system which we already know. First, rectangular coordinate system in which we have x, y and z for 3D, for three-dimensional point. Then the second one we have is cylindrical, in which a small change occurs where the x and y are defined using r and phi, and z is as it is. So I am not using theta instead of that. I am using phi because it becomes easier when we are correlating cylindrical coordinates with spherical coordinates. Spherical has r, phi and theta. Okay. So whenever we want to plot any scalar or any vector, so this heat flux is a vector. It depends on in which direction the heat has been transferring. So that the vector direction is defined using that area. The area is not usually taken as a vector, but the normal direction of the area, if my in a 3 dimension, if my area is something like this, the normal to it is taken as the direction of that area vector. So this is an area vector. So generally we are not aware of this, so I'll take care of this that I'll explain the area vector, and in next video we'll go into more details of temperature. It is a scalar quantity, and how do we use this coordinate systems and define temperature, and how do we measure temperature, etc. So as of now, thank you.